this is interesting. Look at this.
Yeah.
Now, straight away, let's say Sunderland did not commit an offence of any kind here.
No.
What they did was...
As the Premier League intensifies, Arsenal are showing no signs of slowing
what
down.
You're saying there is to put that there. See,
Ahead of their
Richard?
upcoming clash against Crystal Palace,
they moved
Mikel Arteta's side
with
held
the
an
idea
intense training
being to stop Arsenal using long throws. Now, my concerns, this is Everton the other night, okay?
Yeah.
This is yesterday.
Yeah,
now,
it was here. You can see the line. And they've moved it in.
The mood around the
very
Arsenal
clear,
camp is electric.
Having done that,
yes.
as long as
with
there's a meter
Arteta demanding perfection, the players responded with sharp movements,
but
crisp passing,
in a
and relentless pressing
time when
drill.
we recently had a fatality because of the proximity of a concrete wall to non-league ground, and I know it's entirely different. I just looked at that yesterday and I thought that's a bit close
fine-tuning
for me.
the details that have become the hallmark of his coaching philosophy.
Of those on the football pitch.
Martin Odegaard, as always, led by example.
To discuss. Now, as I say, no rules have been broken. Sunderland are well within their rights, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, the only thing, I think that the laws of the game that they have there say there must be a minimum of a metre between
Arsenal's
that line
midfield powerhouse was dominant in the engine room, dictating play and setting the tone with his physicality and precise distribution.
So they are well within the rights
Gabriel
to do that.
Jesus.
We know why they did it. They wanted to negate the long throw, help them a little bit. They're perfectly within the right to do that as long as you don't alter the dimensions of the football pitch in the same way.
Which we've seen done.
But I do get that.
I was in charge
quick
of
transitions,
ago,
positional flexibility, and pressing high up the pitch.
And rightly should be.
The Spaniard knows Palace's compact defence can frustrate opponents.
Do you say to certain clubs, well, if you've got the space, you have to move it right back, like where it is there. And it has to stay there. Because a lot of grounds are not like this.
Stadium of Light.
They're not like it.
You were going to say
another standout performer in training was William Saliba. The French defender's composure under pressure and leadership at the back continued to be vital for the Gunners' success.
On the one hand, it's very smart.
A metre before it drops off.
Yeah. On the one hand, it's very smart. It's a talking point.
Yeah.
And it did not go unnoticed by Arsenal.
I'll be interested to see what happens.
Subject of conversation after they'd left the ground yesterday. So we'll
with Arteta encouraging healthy competition between his keepers.
Liverpool, they're now within 4
Beyond the
points
drills,
of
what
Arsenal.
truly stood out was the unity of the
that
group.
gap being reduced,
Players
Arsenal drawing last night at
encouraged
Sunderland, and just the overall dominance of City this afternoon. Would you be nervously looking over your shoulder?
I think Arsenal will
culture where
be
every
nervous
player
because
feels valued
of
and motivated.
It's Man City.
As match day
and
approaches,
they've done this to them
Arsenal
twice
fans
before.
have every
Twice in the
reason
last
to be
3 years,
optimistic.
Manchester City have come
The
from
passion,
behind
discipline,
and
and
caught
intensity
Arsenal.
seen in
And also the manner of the victory today. That first half performance with Man City was a little bit like, oh, you know, they're playing Liverpool. Liverpool are the champions. They absolutely took them the cleaners. And I think on the back of Arsenal dropping points against a promoted team who are doing absolutely
Arsenal
fantastically well in the Premier League, Sunderland.
Ahead of their
they'd have been
upcoming
hoping
clash
for a draw.
against Crystal
They'd have
Palace,
seen City's
Mikel
not just
Arteta's
win,
side held an
but
intense training
performance,
session
and
that
probably getting
showcased
a few
the hunger,
flashbacks
focus.
to what's happened the last couple of times when they felt they had a great chance at a title. And it might be a long 2 weeks thinking and worrying about Manchester City for Arsenal supporters and players.
And genuinely, that plays into the psychology then, because it's not like
with Arteta demanding perfection,
game, or even just one next weekend where you reset and go again.
Drills.
It's 2 weeks to think about it.
Yeah, and that's the problem with international break when you don't have a great result. There's a long time to think about it. I still think Arsenal are the best team I've seen in this league this season, no doubt. But there's an awful long way to go. And there's no doubt because Arsenal haven't won the league for so long.
Martin Odegaard,
those supporters, players, manager, everyone will become twitchy in the second half of the season if it becomes
of Arsenal today going into the international break. How significant is that in terms of that title challenge, even in November?
I think it's very significant. I think
midfield powerhouse
none of the teams, whether it's Liverpool or Arsenal, would
room,
want City chasing them.
They
have experience in chasing or leading. So whatever the back end of the season poses for them, they'll be ready for it. They can draw on past experiences and leaders within the group that have gone through that process. So yeah, Arsenal obviously will be focused on what they need to do because if they win their remaining games, they're in control of their own destiny. But
quick transitions,
again, you'll keep one eye on City because you know if any slips that they'll be there.
Well, an extraordinary end at the Stadium of Light, where Sunderland are still unbeaten since their return to the Premier League. We'll talk about Arsenal and the title in a moment, but Julian had a very brief, but he still knows what it's like to put on a Sunderland shirt at the Stadium of Light. I mean, what a performance they've put in all season, particularly at home. And they're in the top 4.
I know, yeah. Performances, like you said, it's not just yesterday. They've been outstanding, very difficult place to go, very intense atmosphere. And as long as they can keep that momentum there throughout the season, that will be the fortress for them and play a massive part in them hopefully staying in the league.
And they've shown some unbelievable character already, but none more so than to come back against Arsenal, who'd won 10 in a row.
They've showed it all season. I think you need that. You need that positivity. You need that kind of bounce, coming into the league and things to go your way and fight and scrap for things. And, most people would have written them off. Arsenal coming back, looking strong, looking solid, 2-1 up. Probably cruise to a win and move on. But fair play to Sunderland, they never give up. A late goal, another point, keeps ticking that points tally up and keeps momentum up. And the stadium was the energy and as I said, the bounce in the stadium, and big goal for them to carry that into the international break on a high.
And just to put it into perspective, Sunderland scoring 2 against Arsenal, who hadn't conceded in all competitions for 13 and a half hours.
As the Premier League intensifies,
exactly,
Arsenal are
puts
showing
into
no
perspective.
signs of slowing down.
Arsenal's strength really is
ahead of their
defense,
upcoming
great
clash against
goalkeeper,
Crystal Palace.
Really good
Mikel
back four. They protect the back four well as well. They play to their strengths and they don't concede many goals. So for a newly promoted team to score 2 goals against them is a brilliant achievement. And who'd have thought that? I mean, the last 6 teams to have come up have all gone back down. Most people predicting the same 3 to go back down that came up this season. But if the first 10, 11 games are anything to go by, Sunderland aren't going to be there. In fact, they're going to be chasing European prizes the way they're going.
In terms of Arsenal, though, they're bitterly disappointed at the draw, but it shows where they're at, how far they've come, and the standards they've hit this season.
Yeah, it's the highest level. They've got consistencies right there, and like I said, they've got a great balance. They are reliant on the defensive side of the team, but they can score goals. And they said as long as they can keep that balance and not just be too reliant on any one department, they'll give themselves a great opportunity to win.
Because obviously they didn't have Yoker as the centre forward in this game, but they look better equipped, don't they? Erdegaard's been out most of the season to cope with missing players.
Yeah, they've got a good balance, they've got good depth. I still think it's almost sparring season in terms of
Gabriel Jesus and
still got the head guard on and the big gloves almost in the fights after Christmas, the real battle,
chance after chance with
kind of putting yourself in position and
Arteta's tactical focus
jostling
ahead
for
of the
position
Crystal
at the
Palace
moment, but they certainly look strong. They can win games, they don't give much away, win games different ways. It's Christmas time after Christmas, who's fit, what's the form looking like then? Finish line comes in sight, all of a sudden the dynamics change a little bit, but at the moment they're doing a lot of good things.
The training session
winning
also
games
emphasized
well
set-piece
for the most
work,
part,
an area Arsenal have turned into a potent weapon this season.
Big contenders.
Another standout performer in training was William Saliba.
Yeah, it's theirs to lose at the moment.
Oof. I mean, possibly they are a fair few points ahead. I mean, listen, you ask anybody, I think they'd probably say Arsenal are the favourites at the moment. So, yeah, it's going to take a good effort to beat them because I can't see them dropping too many points. They're very efficient, aren't they?
I mean, does that bring its own pressures when everyone's now expecting? In the past, they haven't been expected. They've been chasing Liverpool and City. Does it bring its own pressure when you're out there to be shot at?
New for them as well.
It is, it is
new ground.
But I think the way they play is a certain, they're so efficient. Like, if Arsenal play at their very, very best and Liverpool play at the very, very best and Manchester City, I think Arsenal probably still third best. When everybody's at their absolute best. Yeah, I mean, Liverpool can blow anyone off a pitch. And so can Manchester City when they're absolutely on top level. Whereas Arsenal, I can see them not really making many mistakes, grinding away, maybe a few draws, obviously a few wins as well. But just their style of play might just make them plug on all the way and make them very hard to beat.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think their worst game is too dissimilar to their best game. And their levels are pretty close and balanced. But the other two teams that we mentioned, if they're at their best, they're outstanding. But again, it's not about that. It's about finding consistency throughout the season. And Arsenal seem to have that balance at the moment.
Because when Liverpool or Manchester City win, it feels like they have to play really well, and they can go and win 3-4, 5-0. Whereas I do think that if Liverpool play poorly, they get beat. Whereas if Arsenal play poorly, they will still grind out a 1-0 win or 2-2 draw or whatever it might be. So that might just play in their favour this season. But as Michael said, long way to go.
Yeah, it's actually, they resume with the North London derby against Spurs, your former club who played your other one in North London. Tottenham, first of all, one home win under Thomas Frank in the league. The natives are getting a little bit frustrated at home. They've got the best away record, but the type of football they want to see at home.
Yeah, and the thing is with that run, Steve, it went into last season as well, so it's almost...
Well, if you include last season, they've lost more home league games than any other Premier League club.
Yeah, so it's almost like not a new issue. It's Thomas Frank's almost inherited that little bit, and it's something they need to kind of flush out and get rid of, really, and be playing and looking forward to playing and having that atmosphere a little bit like Sunderland, where they're playing at home and it's bouncing and it's the energy, positive energy. At the moment, Tottenham are finding it easier to play, or the results suggest to play, find it easier to play away from home with
but he's preparing
with kind of the atmosphere and a little bit of kind of negativity that creeps in when they play at home for whatever reason. I think they're capable of doing it. They've got some really good players. They've got a terrific manager, in my opinion, and but they do need to do something about it, because you don't need that rumbling on for too long. No.